Okay, so we're looking at managing your files folders, and if you remember the first video, if you've looked at it, we discussed about how you can manage and create folders within your files folder so that your materials are presented in a more efficient and more user-friendly fashion. If you go back here into our files, which you remember we find under administration, and if you remember, and if you have looked at the other video, you know that we had created the folder dissertation, and we had moved materials from the parent folder in here. Okay, and so therefore we have now a folder called dissertation, and we have related materials embedded within that folder. There's nothing wrong also of creating subfolders, so you can create a folder within a folder. So if you want to even separate this more up into maybe assignment briefs folders, maybe risk assessment and other risk documents, and you think that's going to become quite large, then within this dissertation folder you can actually, just by selecting make a folder here, go through the same process and create a folder within that. Now, if you also had a look at the previous clip, we tried then, and something I pointed out, that we tried to open one of these documents, these dissertation documents, and I pointed out to you that you can't do that simply because we've already set up the link and set up the course for students who access the documents. And what we had done is that we had actually moved those documents into a new folder. In other words, we had changed we changed the link or the address in which Moodle will be trying to locate those within the files. It can't do that. It's not going to happen. So we need to go back into the actual course itself, and now these dissertation documents, none of them will open because we've changed the link that was set up. So we have to change the link. So how do we do that? Well, that's pretty straightforward. You go into turn editing on. You turn the editing on, and then of course you have the options to change all these. Now you have to do this individually because this is the way Moodle works. So we select the pencil against, in this case we're looking at dissertation, so we have to look for the update, which is the pencil icon, and we need to update. And if we scroll down here, we can see that this is the location where we originally had the PDF. This is before we had created a dissertation folder. So now we need to choose or upload the file. So we need to find where it is, and it will automatically go into the files folder. And so what we'll do is then we will now go into the dissertation, and we will, if you look at the title here, this is the first one we wanted, the briefing oral, and we will choose that as being the link. And now the link has been changed, and now we've actually now created a live link once again. When that's done, we save and return to course. And now if we try to open this link, we will be able to do so. If you remember, previously we weren't, and there it is. Now we need to do that for all the other documents that we've moved. So we've moved all these other dissertation documents, so we need to change the links for all of these. And after that, we'll be able to do that. Okay, so as you see, it's very good if you can set up and sort out your file management at the beginning of the course rather than having to do it during, because then you have to then go through in a linear fashion one by one, changing also the links of these documents to the files folder, and that can be laborious at times. So bear that in mind when you're considering how you want to structure your files and your files folders within your course on Moodle.